This is Lukadowski of WeAreChange.org, and I am outside here at the Marriott in Copenhagen, Denmark. I'm joined by the one and only Charlie Skelton, a very prominent writer from organizations like The Guardian, who's been covering Bilderberg for a large number of years now, who's really shed a light on it like nobody else. Your writing is very, very influential. It's very intriguing. It's written very comedically as well, which I always appreciate, but it's also very true. Now, Charlie, we are here outside at the 2014 Bilderberg meeting. What's different this year?
It's more expensive. It's in Copenhagen.
Yeah.
My goodness, try eating here. What's different is the list of participants seems very high-powered. I would say. It's always high-powered, but then you look at this list and you go, "Whoa, okay, this seems like a big year."
Yeah.
You got the head of NATO. You got your big four-star U.S. general, the Allied Supreme Commander. You got the head of MI6. You've got some really big names, and the royalties come back as well. And I'm wondering if that's because it's the 60th anniversary. It's 60 years since 1954, since their first meeting. So maybe the Queen of Spain and Princess Beatrix have come back to clink glasses with Kissinger, who's here, and that kind of thing. So it seems like and obviously they've got big things to discuss.
Yeah. A lot of things are happening in this world right now. They kind of released an agenda that they're going to be talking about. What's your take on their agenda that they publicly released?
Well, it's interesting. They're talking about intelligence sharing, which is probably why the head of MI6 is here. And they're talking about, does privacy exist, which is quite a good joke from them to ask that. Because you can see that privacy does exist for some people, and
If they could afford it.
if they can afford it, if they can pay the local police enough, then yes, privacy does exist.
Yes, they will arrest you for asking questions here, as we know.
But there's obviously people inside this year who know to what extent privacy does or doesn't exist.
Yeah.
People like the Eric Schmidt from Google and Reid Hoffman from LinkedIn and all of the kind of new media guys like Peter Thiel, Facebook board of directors, and so there's lots of people that can give answers to that question. But I feel uncomfortable when they're discussing that with massive insurance companies for a start, because privacy is the enemy for insurance companies.
And also big oil companies and the military-industrial complex and military contractors and General Alexander and all these other people who are here meeting in private and secret. Now, when you first started covering Bilderberg, what was, the first year you ever did it, what was your take on it before really looking into everything?
Well, I came really just almost for a laugh. I didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah.
I remember pulling up in a cab thinking, "Oh, this is funny. I wonder if that guy's following me. That would be funny. That would be the kind of thing I might expect here." Then 8 hours later, I was being followed everywhere, harassed, arrested again. I was, the drill.
Oh yes. I definitely do know the drill. Now we know their agenda. They kind of released what they're going to be talking about inside as their kind of PR kind of move. Now, what do you think unofficially that they're going to be talking about from your point of view? Is there anything you could speculate on?
Well, I don't know. I mean, these are people who have they've got there are a lot of interested parties here. So you've got people who are you've got people like hang on 2 seconds.
No problem.
I'm going to be really rude. Coming straight back.
All right, coming straight back. Charlie Skelton reporting live here at Bilderberg. We're doing one shot, one take, just so you guys can get as much information out there as we can. We have already been threatened twice here with arrest. Just today, we've been arrested a couple days ago for trying to ask the steering committee meeting. We just came back from the airport where we confronted some Bilderberg members. We're trying to identify them now, but it seems like a lot of the Bilderberg members at the airport today have relocated and have actually moved into another private secret area. They're out there in the public area. We took a lot of photos, we took a lot of videos, and they kind of scurried on. And those are the cars that are coming in here. And we're talking about banksters, big oil companies, governments, public officials, kings and queens. A lot of influential people are here. Now, Charlie, what's your assessment of this year's Bilderberg? Where do you see it going?
Well, I remember we were saying about interested parties.
Yeah.
Like big oil. So the chairman and CEO of Shell, World Dutch Shell, are here, and so and they are answerable to their shareholders, and so the interests of Shell are being at least. But well, you'd hope if I was a shareholder in Shell, I'd hope that my chairman and CEO weren't just here to play cards and pull party poppers to celebrate 60 years of Bilderberg. I'd be hoping they were here to promote the interests of Shell. You've also got a lot of industrial and business lobby groups represented here, like British American Business, and they've got a lot of top members here. People like Douglas Flint, who's also the head of HSBC, and so you've got the lobbyists, and lobbyists don't kind of just stop lobbying, so this is a giant lobbying opportunity. That's what I perceive it as. But unlike most lobby, when you think of lobbyists, you think, oh, these are people that go to the lobby of Parliament and sort of petition politicians. This is the exact opposite. These guys are so powerful that the lobby is here, and the politicians are kind of invited into the lobby. So it's a complete inversion of what we sort of understand lobbying to be. But that's what it's. 3 days of opportunity for these people.
To me, if it's anything, it's the proof that corporate and private interests meeting with public interests. It's a clear transparency that the interests of the very few are always going to be met, especially when they all collude together in private and in secret with all these security guards and all these crazy security measures. Is there anything else that people should know about yourself or the coverage here that you're doing, or just about Bilderberg 2014?
Well, something I'd say is that both, I know we're here in Copenhagen, so it might explain why to some of the Scandinavian people here, but there's both Wallenberg brothers are here, and it's worth looking at, someone like the Wallenberg investment interests are so gigantic. I mean, they're tens of billions of pounds. These are people who are huge investors. People like Henry Kravis from KKR. They're in charge of billion-pound private equity interests, multi-billion-pound, and so it requires a leap of faith to think that they are here trying to help the world, help the public. They're helping themselves.
Yep, they definitely are. Charlie, thank you so much for all your work. Your Twitter is going to be in the description below. Really appreciate your writing and everything you're doing. And stay tuned to wearechange.org. I will try to stay out of jail. We've already been arrested 2 times, already harassed today here. And really thank you so much for watching. YouTube.com/wearechange is the website. Check out everything we're doing. We rely heavily on you and your support. That's why we are fully independent, covering something that the mainstream media never will. So stay tuned to wearechange.org. Thank you so much for watching.